Looks like Iceberg and Smashy and Nicey are the only spinners left in the top 16.
It always happens.
Okay, oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Just don't have them fight each other. Fight themselves even. No, this is upgraded and Stewie.
Hello. There we go. I had to turn it off and on again. So, for the first round of the eliminations in this championship, we have Stewie, and upgraded for the Roboteer's pleasure, this time upgraded with a KFC box. Roboteers, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, fight! Upgraded very quickly getting into Stewie. Of course, I wonder if whether or not the upgraded catcher here can actually capture Stewie. Stewie, as we've seen time and time again in this fight, has a decent amount of control behind it, and that might serve as a problem for upgraded for the Roboteer's pleasure, as capturing such a tricky opponent might prove to be a little more risky and difficult than in his past fights. Of course, though, these are both pushing robots with flipper-like attachments, so this will be a fairly evenly matched fight, and both of them will be wanting to get the other opponent closer to the edge so that they can wait for the perfect time to push them in. That was very nearly what we saw just there with Stewie, but he managed to get out of the way just before Upgraded managed to get him in. Upgraded, interestingly, hasn't used its trap mechanism yet, and is now stuck upside down. This appears to be the win to Stewie.
Upgraded, we are going to have to count you out in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Honk.
And due to no functional movement from Upgraded, that is the win to Stewie. And that's the official win to Stewie. So, next up, we've got Kaizo and Stack Overflow. Could Kaizo and Stack Overflow please make your way to the arena? This will be a very interesting round, as both of these robots and drivers are very focused on control. Of course, I think the slight difference here is that Stack Overflow is going for a gripper control approach, whereas Kaizo tends to go for a flipper high yeet control approach. Roboteers, are you ready? 2 yeses.
3, 2,
1, fight! Kaizo approaching slowly, trying to get underneath, managing to get underneath, but not deploying a flip. Perhaps this will be a... Whoa! That was a very close flip there. Stack Overflow almost went over the edge. Oh. And that's it. Instant win to Kaizo. Very quick, very controlled, very decisive.
Next up, we'll have Petrify and Spotty Bot.
Is Petrify and Spotty Botty, please bring your robots to the arena. Petrify in the bottom middle there. As we heard before, a Razor-inspired robot going against a more traditional control-based robot in the form of Spotty Botty. Yes, yeah, this is a rematch of a previous fight, so we'll see how it goes the second time round. Roboteers, are you ready? we're just adjusting the timer. Yeah. Okay, the Roboteers are ready. 3, 2, 1, fight! Both robots. Oh, a little bit of a double fake out there from Petrify, who I can never remember the first 4 letters of the name of, going against Spotty Botty. Spotty Botty trying to get a grip in there, but not quite managing to hold on. Petrify trying to lock in, I think, between the 2 strands of Spotty Botty's control of that. Both robots gripping onto each other, but they both end up grabbing the thin end and just sliding off of each other. No real grip advantage between the 2 robots here. This may come down to the size of the wheel and the amount of force that they can exact against each other in a basic push match. The 2 drivers very thoroughly focusing, and that is the win to Spotty Botty there. I think just having slightly higher edge with the traction on its wheels.
Next up, we'll have Huggy and Underbite. Huggy and Underbite.
Huggy and Underbite, please make your way to the arena. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, I tried pressing home, it didn't function. Oh no, hang on, it's functioning.
Looks like we're ready. 2 big smothering robots, Huggy and Underbite. Roboteers, are we ready? 3, 2, 1.
Fight! As Gus already said, these are... Whoa! That's the first time I think we've seen Huggy get completely flipped, is it?
Oh no!
Is that it? It can't move.
Going to have to count you out.
A count out is beginning now.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're out of here.
Wow. We had such high hopes for Huggy there, but unfortunately, yeah, this is the way it goes, I suppose. Underbite assisting with the removal of Huggy from the arena. Is that a blade on the top of Underbite? Oh, I like it. That's very intricate.
The
Very
next
subtle
fight,
design.
please. Predator and Iceberg.
Predator and Iceberg, if you can make your ways to the arena. Okay, so next up, closer side we have Iceberg, and on the far side in red we have Predator. Do you want to do the timer? We're just waiting for the reset on our timer. Okay, Roboteers, are you ready? 2 thumbs up. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, fight! Predator immediately flapping open, of course. Technically not needed in this new rule set, but definitely needed in defense against Iceberg. Iceberg ripping parts of Predator's face up. This is not looking quite as nice. And going in behind it He's stuck. Oh, not quite managing to do a significant chunk of damage to Predator's drive system, but definitely doing something, taking occasional pot shots. Oh, and that's the back left wheel of Predator being taken out completely. Predator driving on one wheel alone now, still managing to move. Nobody's tapped out yet. Iceberg attempting to take some more damage. Predator going mostly for circular motions due to only having one wheel, and has been pushed out of the fight. A very decisive win to Iceberg. It's probably a good thing. I think you were going to be fighting yourself for a minute there.
Now we have Junk in the Truck versus Expandabot.
How are these stuck together?
Adflex. Adflex.
Because they're all just static.
It's what? I think it's basically really tough.
So, next up in the Eliminator round, this is the 6th Eliminator round. We have, with the big arms close to the camera, Expandabot. And further away in the red, we have Junk in the Trunk. Roboteers, are you ready? 2 yeses. 3, 2, 1, fight! Expandabot very quickly getting in to Junk in the Trunk here, trying to use that complete control. Unfortunately, I don't think we've seen Expandabot really in a control match. Oh, perfect control fighting from Expandabot there.
What were you saying?
Raising Junk in the Trunk. This is the first time we've really had a good chance to see Expandabot in a control environment like this, where he's not just fighting off against a spinner, and it's very much using it to its advantage. It's been called to release Junk in the Trunk back out onto the pitch. That was a very nice piece of control for that first 30 seconds of the fight. But Junk in the Trunk almost had Expandabot out of the side there, but not quite. And very close. Expandabot trying to get Junk in the Trunk out, trying to back away, not quite doing it, lifting it up, and that is a very solid win to Expandabot. What a level of control, folks.
The next fight will be Duckling and GNC.
I wanted to say that it's like his robot's built for control, but every fight he's had has been against like a spinner, so we haven't seen it. And now it's like beautiful. But he got to the control before I got to say, oh, what will we see?
Okay, so you need to flip that again.
Next up, we have Duckling versus GNC. GNC, of course, using that fairly unconventional gripper flipper mechanism, and Duckling, of course, being modeled after Duck. Roboteers, are you ready? It's 2 yeses. We're ready to roll. 3, 2, 1, fight! GNC keeping its grabber flipper vertical, which we've noticed it's starting to doing as it's sort of going for more of a control approach, but Duckling just completely pushing GNC into the corner there. Definitely a strong drivetrain on that, not quite managing to push GNC out into the pit though. Meanwhile, Duckling is now gripped by GNC. GNC using those ears on Duckling to its advantage, but not quite managing to fully capitalize on it. Going up for gripping, self-righting itself and being pushed into the pit by Duckling. That is a very clear win to Duckling.
Next up, we'll have Smashy and Nicey versus Slipper.
That's the last eliminator. That's the last of the
last of round one. The final of round one here. Smashy and Nicey versus Slipper.
Is that the same team?
I don't think so. Could the drivers of Smashy and Nicey and Slipper come up to the arena?
Smashy or nice?
It's the fact that Nicey and Smashy both spell the E on the end in a different way.
Ah, they've had to find another driver. I see. But they are self-contained as a team, as per the rules.
What, you can't have someone else on another team?
No, you've got to, if you go to classic, you've got to have all the votes for it. You can't use one from another team. And as a team, you can't use another team from another.
Sound of screwdrivers in the background. The looks of concentration on the Roboteers' faces. It's shaping up to be an excellent championship. Love the way there's just a pair of needle nose pliers shoved into that robot.
Slipper versus Smashy and Nicey. Roboteers, are you ready?
Roboteers getting a very quick crash course on driving
Yeah.
Smashy or Nicey.
Yeah. You ready?
We ready?
Everybody's ready?
Three,
Three,
two,
two,
one, fight.
Fight.
Oh my god.
Slipper very quickly getting in and underneath. Once again having the advantage on the low ground clearance. Smashy and Nicey staying in the corner and spiraling away from it as they get approached by Slipper. Slipper trying to do something, but again, it's like herding with cats with these two. These robots driving around, really running circles. Whoa, whoa! That was a solid flip from Smashy or Nicey, and Slipper almost getting itself towards the edge, but that is another clean win to Slipper. What a
Transmitters
robot.
on top, please.
Transmitters on top.
Transmitters on top, please.
Yeah.
Okay. The next fight will be Stewie versus Kaizo. Oh wait, has that already happened? Okay.
I feel like it has to.
You've got to win this one, Dave. Otherwise,
Otherwise what?
Single elimination.
yeah, like Andrew, isn't it?
Yes.
Andrew's won a lot, and so has the guy over there. So like, it's just gonna
The
be
child.
just them two. Yeah, it's gonna be like just the two of them.
Oh, like another child. Their father. Are you?
The drivers are both ready.
Cool.
3, 2, 1, fight! This is Kaizo and Stewie, both design control flippers, driven by people with what appears to be a very significant degree of practice and experience here. So we might be in for a relatively long fight here, as both of them are moderately similarly matched. I think perhaps, whoa, very nearly saw Kaizo out. Kaizo manages to flip Stewie back into the middle of the arena. I think both of them are, oh my word.
Kaizo, the winner.
That is the win to Kaizo, but that really could have been anyone's fight there. That's insane. What a sequence. What a sequence.
For today.
So now we're going to be moving on to the top 8.
Top 8.
And
Can we get a
once-
woo? Hey.
Once the top 8's done, we will have a gladiator. So anyone who's got robots left that aren't in, you can put them in. Yeah, you've got a few fights.
Spotty Botty and Underbite?
So the first fight of the round of 8 is going to be Spotty Botty versus Underbite.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Scratch that.
Oh, never mind.
Please revert your robots to their pre-fighting position.
Shout out to our 2 viewers on YouTube. 3.
We
Say-
live for you guys.
Say hi in chat.
Say, goofers in the chat, if you can hear us.
Oh, we have a hi. Who's that from?
We've got Mark,
Mark. Hello, Mark.
Malenki man himself.
He's here.
I think he's been watching all day. What a champ.
Absolute king.
Mark's been watching on and off. It's been about as on and off as the stream has been, probably.
Wish I were there.
Wishes he was here. Well, there'll be another one in 2 to 3 months.
Or should we say, we wish you were here too.
I'm seeing more things being slowly deployed into the rubbish tournament prize. It's currently looking like a real burden for whoever wins the skip.
It looks like we're going to be good to go on the round of 8 very shortly. Everyone else, if you're not in the round of 8, you can be getting your robots ready for the gladiator, for which there is no prize but glory.
Glory is the only prize worth fighting for.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
It wasn't very expensive system. The whole set was £200, which is cheap as far as PAs go. On one transmitter,
Oh my goodness.
knock yourself out.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, that means that when you drive them towards each other, they'll go like actually towards each other. If you turn, they'll turn like mirrored if they're facing each other.
You can have the cookie. Take it if you want it.
So, our first round of 8 fight will be Expandabot versus Underbite, followed by Iceberg versus Spotty Botty, Duckling versus Slipper,
That's it.
Yep.
Yep.
and yeah. Oh, sorry, we're already in the round of 8. Expandabot versus Underbite, please.
Prepare your robots.
Oh my god.
He's just put all of them.
Yep.
I'm going to put surprise in because Sorcon's weapon motor is dead.
Can
Unplug that for me. Unplug Sorcon because it's beeping. Thank you. Thank you, Ben.
I was gonna grab it.
Roboteers, are you ready? 3, 2,
1, fight! Both robots again, very control driven. We're seeing a lot of control heavy action this championship, but it does appear that Expandabot has the advantage at this point. Oh, another perfect lift from Expandabot, but not quite holding Underbite in. That's definitely trying to recreate the success of his last round in the first eliminator here, lifting them up. Underbite definitely struggling at this point, which is not matching usual performance. It's quite interesting here. Maybe I'm beginning to wonder if there's just so much, but that's it.
our winner, Expandabot.
Expandabot very clearly wins.
We're missing, no, we're not missing.
Go on, I need to fight. Iceberg versus Spotty Botty's next, followed by Duckling and Slipper.
Now, this should be interesting, because we've seen a lot of control robots here. However, Iceberg has been ripping through the opponents so far. Perhaps a little bit of a dark horse in this championship.
The last remaining spinner.
So let's see how it'll fare against Spotty Botty. Roboteers, are you ready? It's 2 yeses. 3, 2, 1, fight! Iceberg spinning up. Spotty Botty trying to grab in. One of the eyes has gone flying. Iceberg very fast, actually, for a weapons-based robot. Trying to get in and grip that. That's the other eye completely out. Spotty Botty almost yeeted into the pit there, but not quite. Spotty Botty, I think, might be taking some time now to get its bearings and try and collect Iceberg. Iceberg is inverted on the edge of the wall. I think this is going to be a count out.
10, 8, 7, 6, 5,
4, 3, 2, 1.
Iceberg is eliminated.
Wow. And that is it for the spinners in this tournament. All that is left is control.
The last of the round of 8, Duckling and Slipper. To the arena when you're ready, please. After that, it will be our gladiator.
Oh my goodness. I'm a fan.
Duckling versus Slipper. Please, can you come forwards?
Yes.
Okay, so it looks like we're just having a mess around with some spare parts, maybe a controller. This is obviously in the top we've got Duckling, been a very solid performer so far, and then Slipper at the bottom, which has been very swiftly dispatching its opponents with that low ground clearance. Roboteers, are you ready? We'll begin.
3, 2, 1, fight!
Oh, Slipper going for a little bit of a bait and switch there, but not quite getting under Duckling. Duckling actually having a shockingly low ground clearance here. I don't think Slipper's used to this. Oh, I think both of the robots got caught on a little bit of a dent in the arena. Slipper almost getting caught on the side there, but managing to self-right itself. Duckling getting off to the edge. Both flippers appear to be a lot more powerful than they look. Oh, Duckling very near to the edge. I don't know if that's good driving or just luck. But no, oh, maybe it was luck because Duckling has just reversed out and into the pit.
And that's it. We'll now be having our gladiator before the round of 4.
Semi-final.
And you
The
think I'm
semi-finals.
going to commentate the name of every robot in the gladiator? You're wrong. Next up, we have a very interesting gladiator. It's because of Maintenance 4, a new spanner versus upgraded for the Roboteers Pleasures versus Stewie versus Baphomet versus Ramstein versus Sorcon versus Self-Destructor versus Stack Overflow versus Psycho versus Everybody's Worst Nightmare versus Plasty. Steel is a perfectly legitimate choice of material versus Gordon versus Ponykid versus Petrify versus GNC versus F3 versus Surprise for the Mucker versus Danger Cone versus this may or may not